This is the Yahoo Sports NBA Podcast, hosted by Chris Mannix. From interviews,
let's bring in John Wall.
He's Reggie Miller.
Bring in Eric Spoelstra.
To the latest NBA news, to insights you won't get anywhere else.
Rioting is bad. You shouldn't riot.
Past episodes of the podcast can be downloaded in the iTunes Store and Google Play.
Why wouldn't you go back?
Subscribe and leave a rating or comment. Here he is.
Speaking of guys putting their foot in the road,
Chris Mannix. Yes.
All right, special bonus podcast here. I'm sitting here at the Celtics practice facility with now an ex-Celtic, a guy that spent 5 years on the Celtics bench as an assistant coach, 7.5 years as a player with the team. He's now the head coach at Evansville in the Missouri Valley Conference. Walter McCarty joins me on the podcast. What's up, Walt? Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming out and happy to be on here.
So just walk me through this opportunity because – here you are. You're a longtime NBA veteran. You're, sitting on the bench, on the coaching staff of one of the best teams in basketball, working for, I think, one of the best head coaches in basketball. You decide you want to go into the college ranks. Just walk me through your thought process on why college, why Evansville, all that.
Well, I've always wanted to be a D1 college head coach, even getting back into the pros. And it started with Rick Pitino at the University of Louisville when I was there for 3 years. I just love the interaction, the teaching, the development, helping with young men, not just only on the court, but being that father figure and helping them get to the next step, just being a success in life. And I really enjoyed those relationships. And, getting back into the pros, especially come back here to Boston, being with Brad and Danny Ainge, they both knew of my love for college basketball. And I always told them, if the right job comes up, I want to be able to take that job, and I'm going to be looking for college jobs while I'm here, just so you guys know. I said, I'm happy to be here. I love being here. It's a great job, and I could be here forever. But if the right college job comes along, I would love to be able to take it. So being at the University of Evansville came up, and just knowing everybody there, I started getting text messages, hey, would you have any interest and been the head coach of the school? And I said, well, just knowing a little bit of the history and just knowing people there, if they provided me with the right resources, we could make it happen. And got a phone call and had some good conversations with the AD, and then that turned into like an interview phone call, which went really, really, really well. And I think I flew in maybe a week and a half later, and just knocked it out.
Mm-hmm. Your coaching experience is at the pro level. What do you know about the challenges of college coaching, recruiting? I mean, how well versed do you think you're going to be to kind of hit the ground running at Evansville? I
think I've been very lucky. Being at Louisville for 3 years and working under Rick Pitino, I think that I've been well rehearsed. Even being here with the Pacers and being here with the Celtics, I've always kept those recruiting connections. I have really good friends and high school friends who coach in college, and a lot of the guys that I know, I've always kept those relationships. I watch college ball all the time, just to see what they're doing, and I'm just always around it. So I think I'm ready. I think I've been ready for quite some time, and this whole time, this is what I've been preparing for the last 5 or 6 years, and I think I'm going to do just fine. And, basketball is basketball, but I think it's a different, leading your own program. So, of course, I got to get out and shake hands and get in the community. But the greatest thing about this is I'm at home. I know everyone. I know it's just been fun to be back. The whole city's excited. I think we've just today we've almost tripled season seats sales for our arena, and that they haven't had this many people buy season tickets in 2 years. We've tripled that amount already just in 2 or 3 days. So the city's excited. I'm excited, and I think I'm ready to take this challenge. Working for Rick Pitino, Jim O'Brien, and now Brad. I think that I've been prepared and worked for some really good coaches.
Evansville, as you mentioned, it's your backyard there. Did they recruit you when you were in high school? Obviously, you went to Kentucky, bigger program.
They did indeed recruit me. It was my third school. The way that I played, I always do. I was going to Kentucky. I love Evansville's just as close as to UK as it is to IU, and just their style of play. like sold me from day one, and if I knew if I would be recruited by Kentucky, that's where I was going. So UE would have been my third choice, but things would have had to go really bad at Kentucky and then Purdue for me to come to UE.
How do you sell Evansville to a recruit? What's going to be kind of your sales pitch, and what kind of kids do you expect to go after?
Well, I just think our style of play, the way we're going to play, is going to be very attractive to kids. I think we have really, really good facilities, maybe the best facilities in the MVC, with our own practice floor and 11,000-seat arena. And I just think with my career, what I've been able to do in my career, and, I think the connections to people that I know, I think that's going to be very attractive to players to come play. I think that Evansville is a great city. We have great support from the city. I think all of those things, once kids start coming around, see the type of stuff we're doing, and seeing the support of the city and getting inside that arena. Most colleges don't have 11,000-seat arena. That's really nice. So we're excited. I think that we have a chance to be a very special place. And I think with the way Loyola is playing right now, that lets us know, hey, we can be successful and we can get kids who want to come here and compete at this level.
Did you, you play for Pitino and you go to a big-time college, but when you're working for Brad, do you ever have any conversation with him about recruiting at a smaller school? Brad did a great job in Gordon Hayward. He got some blue-chip guys. Obviously, his coaching stood out, but did you ever have any of those conversations about the challenges and the kind of kids you go after at a smaller school?
Yeah, we had a lot of conversations. Brad and I were I love Brad. Brad and I, we text all the time. I think we were on the phone yesterday before the game, about 30 minutes, just always talking about basketball and what guys you want to recruit. But Brad at Butler, no one knew Gordon Hayward. He had tennis offers and they were able to come in, and I want to recruit kids, number one, that enhances our culture. Guys who want to be there, guys who are about team, guys who work hard, but also guys who are going to develop into being really good players. And I think that's what Brad did. Brad got players, guys who can play, but he was able to take their game to another level just through teaching and just working on the proper fundamentals and just recruiting skilled guys. So I want to go after guys who are skilled, who can play many different positions, but guys who have a ceiling, who can get better and better and better at their time at the university.
So what's Walter McCarty's coaching style going to be? You played for Pitino, worked under Pitino. That's one style. Brad Stevens in the pros, that's a totally different style. What's your coaching style going to be?
Well, we definitely want to pressure the ball, wear teams down. I'm not saying full on press, but we want to push the ball.
You remember how much fun that was as a player?
It was a lot of fun, but you have to have the athletes and the guys
exactly.
to do it, and the bench to do it. So as we're building, we want to play fast and up tempo. We want to push the ball. We want to shoot a lot of threes, but we just want to, a lot of the NBA quick hitting actions that we run here with the Celtics is what I want to do. Just ball movement, getting side to side, playing with skilled players who are all a threat. Where you have to guard all five of us. You can't just guard one guy, take one guy out. We're all threats, and just playing through skill.
Are you? How prepared are you for that kind of yearly grind that is college basketball coaching? Look, coaching in the pros is tough too, but there's not the recruiting part of it. There's not the it's coaching and not trying to bring in guys. Are you looking at it as it a 24-hour-a-day type of job year-round?
Oh, definitely. Listen, I worked for Rick Pitino, so I understand what it takes, and I think working for him really prepared me, probably over-prepared me to be able to take this job. So I'm excited about the opportunity, and the energy that I have, that's I can be up all night on the phone or recruiting and doing whatever it is that I have to do in order to make this a successful program. But I love it. I'm one of the few guys that actually enjoyed recruiting when I was at Louisville. I actually enjoyed getting out on the road and speaking with parents and kids, and just for me that was fun. I love creating those relationships. One thing for me, is I understand what kids I want to go after. I don't need to get the top kids, although it may be nice, but I want to get guys who I can teach, guys who want to be here, guys who are skilled, but guys who have a ceiling to grow. It's just not about recruiting. It's about being able to evaluate, and you evaluate the kids that you need and how to get them to be the players, teach them how to be successful in your program. So to me, it's, yes, we have to recruit, but the most important thing is we have to evaluate.
What do you take away from Pitino, your experience there, that you take to the college ranks as a coach?
I think I've been very fortunate for the guys who I worked for, and I would say this is the same with Brad. Is the most important thing that I take is that their preparation. You know, you're not going to surprise them with anything. If you've done it before, they've seen it, and just preparing your team and having them ready to play from opponent standpoint, but also what the type of things that we want to do out there. Guys are very prepared and able to execute.
You played for Pitino both in college and in the pros. You're now working for Brad Stevens. Why there are two different types of college coaches, right? I mean, Pitino came to the pros. It didn't exactly work out here in Boston. Brad Stevens has worked out and then some so far. What's the difference between those two coaches in the pro ranks?
I think they approach the game kind of the same way from a preparation standpoint. I think what sets Brad apart is his relationship with the guys, but also always having the guys on par with knowing this is what's happening, this is what we're doing. But also, Brad is so efficient with the guys, with their time away from the court, with their time on the court, efficient with them getting their rehab or recovery or workouts. There's no wasted time with Brad. You know, we're on the floor for whether it's an hour and 20 minutes or whether it's 40 minutes. Throughout those 40 minutes, he's very efficient, and we're getting to what exactly we need to do to get better. We're always getting better, no matter how long you're in the court. With small, he's really good at that. Now, I think that's another thing that I've taken away from him. You don't have to be on the court for 2 hours or do this to get stuff done. This is what we need to do. Let's focus on this and let's get better and let's get out.
From your perspective, a coach that didn't play the game, didn't coach at a major college level or a pro level, how has he been able to engender such respect? Because whether it's Isaiah Thomas or Kyrie Irving or any of the guys that have come through here, it seems like they all have a high level of respect for him.
Well, a lot of people don't know this. Brad was a player. Brad averaged like 30 points in high school. And, he played at a small school, but which is a really good basketball school. Brad is just, and you know Brad, but by me saying this, people aren't going to understand. But like when you're around Brad, he's infectious. His attitude, the way he carries himself, the respect that he has for other people, and it's like how he treats other people, and he's always in constant contact and checking in, and it's hard to like. If you're a player, you're not happy with the time or whatever it is, it's hard for them to go the other way because he's done so much to not only help you but respect you. He's giving you all the things that you need to be successful. Now, whether you grasp those or you take those and run with it, it's totally up to you. But, Brad's a guy who he always takes the blame. If you lose a game, win a game, something goes wrong, even though it's not his fault or whatever, he never throws his guys under the bus. He always says, that's my fault. I got to have my guys ready. Well, this is my fault. I should have did this. And just the way he carries himself and how he prepares, I think guys see that and they respect that. And I've never seen Brad disrespect or anyone ever. And I just think that the way he treats other people is really, really important.
I thought Jim O'Brien did a lot of that too when he was in Boston, taking on the blame for whatever something went wrong there. I remember if Antoine went like 0 for 11, it was good shots, all good shots that Obi would put up. Can you take that attitude and use it with 18, 19-year-olds? Does it translate when you're going from 20 and 30-somethings?
I think so. I think the biggest thing, too, that I've learned from Brad is get to the next play. You can't you have to teach and get better and show them, all right, this is why we do this, this is why we do this, this is why we can't do this. And players have to understand we're going to make mistakes, but we have to be able to get to the next play and, have to be able to move on. I think that's something he really does well. I think that's something his teams do really well. And I think that's why guys like Abdul Nader and Shimi Ojale and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they're young, but they're having success. And people are like, how are they doing this? Because we know they're going to mess up. We know, but let's get to the next play. We're not going to dwell on it. We're not going to bring you in halftime and chew you out about it and say, well, you got – no, it's a teaching moment. Let's teach it and get over it and get to the next play. And I think he's really fabulous at doing that.
You're going to have to stop talking to other players on the sideline. You've been known for that, Walt. you've got a bit of a rep that have a little running conversation with some stars out there.